Monster Michael Todd. 1 week after the Arnold Classic, you took second place at that event.
Yeah, I got second place. Man, I wholeheartedly, and this is no disrespect to anybody, way tournaments happen. I just think if that tournament would have been any other tournament in the world, it would have started and finished on the same day. And I think I could have kept beating him all day on Friday, you know. I mean, it's just, my confidence was through the roof once the match stopped on Friday. You know, I saw that hard match with him and Lupke's, and I'm like, okay, that's good. Me and Tim Breslin were off sitting aside, and we were both happy about that because we knew we were going to be the next match. You know, our third round match was each other, and they had that match second round, so we're thinking, man, if one of us is going to be looking good. And then my match with Tim was you know, it was a good match. Tim's strong right now. He didn't expect me at all to try to top roll him. It was kind of funny, we were talking afterwards, and you know, he didn't expect me to hit into his hand like I did, and he was just like, please let go, please. You know, he didn't want me holding on to him because, you know, I had a good hit on his hand, and then we slipped, went to the strap. And my whole goal since my injury has been, I want to make every match start in the center of the table. Not left to right, but hand peg, center of the table. So basically, when they say go and I'm in the strap, my only move is back. I just want to come straight back. I don't care how far you hit me, as long as I'm not giving up center. In the past, I've lost a lot of matches by giving up the center of the table, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So he hit me over, stopped him, was able to, little decent amount of holding, a little bit of back dragging rotation, forced him to come into press, he ended up fouling. Second match was basically the same. I was excited about that, move on to some Blinkoff match. He had a third round match that was pretty easy. I mean, he smacked the dude like wasn't there. And he was doing everything right, man. He was over in the corner, icing his arm down, doing, you know, actually came up to the table, me and him, and Leonard's like, I'm gonna let you start with, you know, he had water all over his hand because he'd been icing his arm down. So we stepped off, chalked our hands and got out there. Set up to bust through his hand, and he basically just let go of me, so that was great. I was like, cool, we're in the straps. That's all I wanted to do was get in the straps with him. And as soon as they said go and he hit me and the match stopped, I convinced to telling everybody in the building that it was over, you know. I knew at that point, regardless of how long it was going to take for me to win the match, it was done, you know. And he did everything right. I mean, when we first came in the sport, you know, he was just strong. He was a strength athlete transitioning into arm wrestling. He's a technical arm wrestler now. I mean, he hit me at every angle. He tried to press me, tried to straight hit. I mean, he stayed tight, ended up fouling. And then I thought, well, maybe that 45 seconds of him hitting on me may have took something out of his arm. So I was going to try to just dive in and press on him. I hit it, wasn't able to hold position very long, so I backed off, and as soon as I backed off, he surges me within an inch from the pad. But the match stopped again. I was like, okay, it's good. You know, the match doesn't stop. I had already dropped down low because I was trying to stop him. And once I got down there, I couldn't come back up because I didn't want to get pinned. So I was able to get his arm back over to my side a little bit. I put one little pump into him just to see where he's at. I realized it was time to put him away, so I came up, stood up on him, and pressed him. And was ecstatic, man. That was awesome. But the second that match ended, I felt all the pressure. Because I knew all that shit didn't mean anything unless I won the next day. In my mind. You know, we went out to dinner after that, and Neil and Ryan Clark and everybody's like, man, don't even worry about tomorrow. He said, you've already done it today. You did what no one thought you could do. And all that meant a lot, but second sucks, you know. And I went back to the room that night. Gary had the video, and I watched it. Worst thing I could have done, because it hurt me when he was hitting on me. And then I watched the video, and I saw how hard he was hitting, and it scared me a little bit, you know. I was like, damn. Nope.
You went into that the Classic basically as an underdog. You weren't really picked. So Plankov was supposed to steamroll everybody. Tim Breslin was there. Richard Lupke's. There was a lot of big, heavy-hitting guys, and we had talked a few days before the tournament, and you weren't real jacked up to go, I think. Were you a little bit, not necessarily intimidated, but you were a little bit apprehensive to go?
Didn't mean to cut you off, but what happened was, everybody knew I got injured, and I did have a successful comeback against Ron Espy. No one's seen the footage, but that was cool. Went to Italy because I'd already promised to go there, so I missed the yo-yo, went to there. Had a good match there. I'm a guy that makes matches that aren't maybe as difficult as they look difficult. You know, I try to make the match look good. I try to get into the match, and it's not that I'm not trying. I just, I try different things. Like, so my Italy match, I don't think really made it. There's one video online. I don't think anybody got really intimidated by watching that. although I always felt like I was really strong. Coming up to the Arnold, man, knowing who all was there, I was excited about the competition, but nervous about it being a one-on-one tournament. You know what I mean? A double elimination tournament. Any of the guys in the class, I was confident in my mind I could fare very well against over 6 rounds. I just didn't know if I could, Timmy. I was like, well, Timmy's beat a lot of people lately. If I can beat him the first match, cool, then that's awesome. Then I progress on, If I can beat some, the whole deal was, and I said it on TV, if I can beat you here in a tournament, forget a super match. Because that's your only shot at beating me. You got to beat me the first match. If you can't win the first one, go home. Because over 6, I'm going to win, But I was sitting here literally not going to go to the Arnold. I was 50-50, man. It was issues, man. People were going to go with us. It couldn't go. Gas was $3.50 a gallon. Expedition gets 13 miles a gallon. I'm like, dude, I'm going to spend $600 going there to win $500, And then, but Tanya was excited about going. And she's like, man, I really want to go. So I called Nancy Gonzalez and asked her if she was going. And she said, well, my people backed out on me. I'm like, well, can you come here tonight? She said, heck yeah. So we all loaded up in her car, got 27 miles a gallon, and took off to the Arnold, Good tournament, man. I mean, I went in Saturday. Neil Pickup said the difference was Friday to Saturday was Friday. I said, I'm going to beat him. And on Saturday, I asked Neil if he thought I could beat him.
Yeah.
And my confidence was a little shaken. And excuses or not, I've got a lot of injuries. And pulling like that on Friday makes it very difficult to come back on Saturday and pull with the same amount of pressure, I was still able to stop him on Saturday. I was scared he was going to hurt me. I mean, I really thought he might break my arm or something, And everybody talks in Dixon Glory's post on the message board, which I might post on there. One guy said he thought that I was in pain and that's why I came up and that's why he was able to pin me. I have a severe injury in my right arm, No one likes to admit that, their arm doesn't straighten. My arm does not straighten. That's as high as my right arm will go. That's it. But I don't catch people on my lock. I catch them about a half an inch before. Because when you get on that lock, it feels like you're breaking my damn arm. It feels like someone's, hyperextending your elbow or someone's got you an arm bar. It hurts like hell, So there's a few times in the match that's when Plenkoff was hitting me, boom, he was hitting me all the way to the lock, and it hurt bad, And on Saturday, I was holding, and he hit so hard that side pressure hit to the lock, and I was just raised right up because the pain was unbearable. Shit hurt. I'm not a person who's going to lay back on that and, you can't straighten my arm out, you have to break that shit hurts. I'm not saying if it didn't hurt, I wouldn't do it. I might kick everybody's ass that way if I didn't have the pain, but, it happened and it hurt like hell, and on Saturday I just couldn't pull it out. He beat me. I do believe currently, right now, his shape and my shape, I think I can beat him over 6. I think I can. And I think a little bit of him, I can't speak Russian. I saw some of the interviews, but everybody's saying the only reason he lost to me was because of his Lupke's match, Lupke's did put a hell of a, match on him.
That's tournament arm wrestling, though.
That's it. But I still don't think it took enough out of him that the Breslin match didn't take out of me, that fresh he'd still have enough. Fresh for fresh, I don't think he can pound him, I don't think he can flash me, Whether or not he can get 1 or 2 pins on me or not, I don't know, but I don't believe he can win 6. I just don't.
When you beat Dennis, your wife had text messaged Dusty, and we heard about your win, and we had talked to Neil Pickup on the phone, and he was ecstatic. He said it was one of the best matches he'd ever seen. He didn't necessarily say this, but I think the whole world kind of knows that you sort of took some of the mystique away from Denis Saplenkov and maybe the Eastern European guys being a higher level than the rest of us here in North America. When you beat him, that really shook the world, but it also sort of put everyone on the same level, the same playing field. They're not better than us. They're not stronger than us. Everybody who's training is right there.
Oh yeah, and the Egan said it a bunch. He thinks that North America's got the best heavyweights, the best super heavyweights, whatever. Lupke's match with him, me beating him, proved that we're all on a pretty level playing field when it comes to being serious about this. This is my life. This is the first time in my life, I've been doing this for 20 years, a strength sport, and my primary goal has not been being strong for 20 years, just I want to look a certain part. People don't know, I'm genetically a heavier set guy, I have to watch everything I eat to come in lean. I I come in, I'm heavy, I'm puppy, you know, oh, this dude, oh, what's going on with him? Well, fuck, I ate, asshole. You know what I'm saying? I mean,